You know that feeling, right? You're watching a movie, you reach into a bag of chips, and poof, it's empty. And you think to yourself, wait a minute, where did all that go? It's this crazy mystery why our appetite seems to have a mind of its own, totally ignoring what our stomach is actually telling us. Well, it turns out there's a science to it, and the answers, they're kind of hiding in plain sight. Let's start with a really simple question.
No, seriously, think about it for a second. Everything you ate yesterday, that morning coffee, the handful of nuts you grabbed, the little snack from the office vending machine, dinner, can you picture it all? Because the research on this is, well, it's pretty startling.
On average, most of us, and I mean most of us, underestimate how many calories we eat in a day by about 25%. And that's not just a small rounding error. That's like eating an entire extra meal without even realizing it. This right here is the core problem we're going to unpack today. This huge gap between what we think we're eating and what we're actually eating. So where does that 25% gap even come from? Well, it's not about a lack of willpower, I can tell you that. It's something we're calling the mind-stomach gap. We're about to explore how our brain and our belly got so disconnected, and more importantly, what's really pulling the strings. First up, let's look at the world around us. Your kitchen, your office, your favorite restaurant, they're all filled with these invisible cues, these little nudges that get you to eat more than you plan to. And look, these aren't some sinister plots, they're just features of our modern food world. And the biggest culprit of all, it's something called portion distortion. Basically, our collective idea of what a normal serving size looks like has been slowly stretched and warped over the decades, completely retraining our eyes to expect and to accept so much more. Just look at how dramatic this shift has been. It's kind of wild. Back in the 80s, a medium soda was a mere 7 ounces. Today, it can easily be triple that size. Or a bagel, it's doubled in size, but it's still sold as just one single serving. Our brains see these massive portions over and over, and they just recalibrate. This new, much larger amount becomes the new normal. And this leads us to another brilliant principle. We're all on the seafood diet. It's simple, right? If we see food, we are way more likely to eat it. Researchers found that office workers ate way more candy when it was sitting in a clear jar on their desk compared to when it was in a cloudy jar just a few feet away. Visibility and convenience, they're incredibly powerful. So, okay, it's not just the external world that's tricking us. Our own brains are kind of wired to put our appetites on autopilot. Let's dive into how that works. This brings us to the absolute heart of the matter, mindless eating. Just think about eating popcorn at the movies. You're not eating because you're hungry, you're eating because you're at the movies. Your hand just goes from the bucket to your mouth on its own, driven by the situation, not by your stomach. Now, this happens because our brains are amazing at forming habits, and they do it using this simple little loop. First, there's a cue, like, say, sitting on the couch to watch your favorite show. That cue triggers a routine, grabbing a snack. And that leads to the reward, that salty, crunchy satisfaction. After a while, that whole loop becomes so automatic you don't even think about it anymore. The couch itself becomes the trigger to eat. And here's the really critical part. Distraction is like an anesthetic for your appetite. When you're totally absorbed in a screen, your TV, your phone, your brain is just too busy to process the signals your stomach is sending it. It literally doesn't get the message that you're full, so you just keep going. It's like your mouth is eating, but your brain isn't even taking notes. Okay, so this might sound a little bit grim, right? Our environment and our brains are setting us up to fail. But here's the good news, the great news actually. We can totally regain control. And it doesn't take superhuman willpower. It's all about making small, strategic changes to our environment, simple swaps that do all the hard work for us. Let's start with one of the easiest, most effective swaps out there, your plate. Over the last few decades, dinner plates have ballooned from about 9 inches to 12 inches or even more. By just switching back to a smaller plate, the same amount of food looks way more plentiful. It's a cool visual trick called the Del Before illusion, and man, it's a powerful way to make your brain feel satisfied with less. Next up, change where you serve your food. When those big serving bowls are sitting right there on the table, it's almost automatic to reach for a second helping. But if you plate your food in the kitchen and leave the leftovers over there, you create a natural pause point. You have to consciously stop and ask yourself, am I really hungry enough to get up and get more? And finally, let's redesign that seafood diet. Take the snacks and treats off the counter, hide them. put them in cloudy containers way in the back of the pantry, and at the same time, make the healthy stuff like fruits and veggies super visible and easy to grab. Basically, make the easy choice the healthy choice. So the crucial point in all of this is this. Beating mindless eating isn't a battle of you versus your cravings. It's not about being stronger or having more discipline. It's about becoming aware of all these hidden forces that shape your decisions and then redesigning your environment to support your goals, not sabotage them. That's a really empowering thought, isn't it? We are all the architects of our own eating environment. The question isn't if your surroundings will influence you, because believe me, they will. The real question is, how will you choose to shape them?